I will explain how I studied for the CKA exam and how I cleared the CKA exam. I had cleared my CKA exam in the second attempt. First attempt I had failed with a less than 66 percentage. So today I'll show you how I cleared the exam. So first thing we have to study for the exam. Okay, I studied my CKA from the code cloud. This is the URL for this because this is the easiest one I had found in the internet. Let me open it. This is the CKS certification course, certified Kubernetes administrated by Mumshad Mahmood. This has the each and every topic covered, and it has the labs as well. That's one of the advantage with this, and you can practice the labs simultaneously. So I had used this course from the code cloud, and they also give the discount coupon which we can use in the while scheduling the exam, so that we get discount in the exam purchase. This course is very helpful for me, and this is very easy to learn, easy to understand actually. From the Mumshad Nabha, he explained in the very simple English and simple language, so that every beginner can understand the each and every term about the every term and concepts about the CKA. So I suggest this one of the course. And the other one is you can the Udemy. From the Udemy also you can find multiple others who had provided the video tutorials about CKA. And the other major one is like you have to go through the Kubernetes documentation. This is a very important one. We'll be using this entirely in the even in the exam also as a reference. We can search for each and every concept in this. We can troubleshooting, installation, documentation, each and everything. This is the Bible, like a Bible for the Kubernetes. So this documentation is very important because we use it in the examination. Yes, if for each and every question they'll give you a reference. So that might be in a different location to get the sample of your YAML codes. But if you are very much familiar about this Kubernetes documentation, you can easily find out the YAML samples for each and every topic. So that's the reason you have to go through the each and every concept in this storage, whatever it is, workloads, cluster architecture, each and every concept you have to go, and you can find a sample YAML files here. So to prepare for the exam itself, to get complete concepts, familiarity with each and every concept of the Kubernetes itself, it will take at least 2 to 3 months roughly. And once you are familiar with each and every concept, start preparing very well for each and every concept. Do the labs as much as possible and try to execute as soon as possible, because our exam will dependent on the time. We need to execute all the tasks within 2 hours. So you try to complete the task as soon as possible. Try to execute as soon as possible, so that your speed will increase. So the exam is completely on the lab based, not like a multiple choice questions like other IT exams. So we have to practice the exam as much as possible. For the practice exam, we can go for the CKA labs in the code cloud, as I showed you earlier. In the code cloud itself, they provide you the lab. You can practice that multiple times. And the other one is in the Linux Foundation itself. Linux Foundation is the where you register your exam and take your schedule your exam and take the exam. So Linux Foundation, once you purchase the Linux exam, you will get a killer shell simulators. There you can practice your exam. The other thing is you need to learn the VI editor. VI editor is plays a very crucial role in this exam, because you need to modify the YAML files. You need to create the new files. Everything that is done in the VI. So you need to get familiar with the way how to insert the code into it, how to save it, how to delete the lines, and everything. You should very much familiar with the VI. The faster you are with the VI, you will save a lot of time, because most of the people will be wasting time while editing the YAML files itself. So VI editor is a very much important for the exam, and we have to learn it very well. The other thing is familiarization with the Kubernetes documentation, that I'll explain later. I'll show you the how to use the Kubernetes documentation to pass the exam. And the other one is alias commands. Yes, alias commands. This will be easy to execute the commands in a faster way. Like instead of typing kubectl, you can simply type k, and instead of typing kubectl get pods, you can use kubectl get po. Such a we have multiple alias commands, so you can search in the Kubernetes documentation for that. You can find that. So practice all the commands using the alias commands. That will be easy in your exam, so that you can execute the commands fastly. You get even the output fast. You can get the output fast for each and every question. So once you studied for the exam and practice it for the exam, the other next part is registration for the exam. So we will be registering our exam in the Linux Foundation itself. Okay, just type CKA in the Google, or you can see the response from the Google. The first link, you can open it. Yeah, this is the Linux Foundation website, and they conduct their trainings, and they provide the certification for us. And you can register with your email ID, and you can go for the training portal and schedule for the exam. If you scroll down, you will get each and everything about CK here. Here it's not showing the CK exam. Let's search another thing. Just type CK exam, and what is, yeah, here it is, CK bundle. Open it. Once you register into this portal, you can see this something like this, and here you can enroll into the exam. And if you are using the code cloud, you can get the discount. You can use that discount code, and while enrolling, here you can see the what are the concept and what is the weightage for each and every concept. You, based on that, you can put more efforts on that. And here you can see the exam duration is 2 hours, and certification is valid for 2 years, including 12 months exam eligibility for one retake. So if you failed in first attempt, you can take the second attempt within 12 months, so that you can prepare very well, and you can do the second attempt. You'll get a PDF certificate and a digital badge as well. Digital badge will be visible in your portal, your Linux Foundation portal itself, and these will change. Keep note of this. Software version is Kubernetes 1.30. So while I was taking the exam, it's 1.29, and now it's 1.30. So when you are retaking also, you should check the version. What is the version it is? So when I first in my first attempt, the Kubernetes version is 1.28. When come to in my second attempt, the version is changed to the 1.29. So you have to be careful which were while taking the exam. You need to verify, check the version, and prepare according to that documentation. So once you here you see the 1.30 version. So in the documentation, whatever you start learning the Kubernetes documentation, you need to check the version of the which version you are going. You need to always look for the exact version 1.130, and you need to each and every concept you should make sure that you are learning from the 1.30 version. That's one of the important thing. Once you get into the portal, you can schedule for the exam. This is how it looks, exam preparation checklist. And I had scheduled my exam earlier. Showing, I mean, I had cleared the exam. That's why it's showing yes, I had passed with 76% score, and score required for passing is 66%. So for each and every question, there will be a weightage, maybe 13%, 5%, 10%. Such a way, you'll have a percentage for each and every question. Now I will show you I had written my exam and what are the tricks I had used in the exam. When you first start your exam, you'll log in into a Linux VM. In that, you will be opening the terminal console. In the terminal console, you will be solving the questions. Now on the left side, you will have the question, and the right side, you will have the Linux virtual machine and the terminal inside. solving all the questions in the inside the terminal. So in that terminal, the Dun server will have access to all the clusters. There will be 2 to 3 clusters. You need to jump between the clusters, and also you need to log into the nodes based on the question. So the jump server will have access to all the clusters. You need to come back to the jump server after finishing each question. Okay. First, solve the questions, easy questions first. So these will help you to save the time. The easiest questions you found, if you find any question which is very easy and you can solve it in few minutes, then go for it and solve that question. And if you got any error with that question, just flag it and jump to the next question. You can solve all the errors and whatever it is in the last. Even the solution is half correct, you will be getting marks, so no need to worry about that. So that is the reason, if you got errors, just flag it and jump to the next question. The harder questions you can solve it in the last. You just first finish the all the easy ones. While solving the questions, create your YAML files using the question number. If I have a question where I need to create a YAML for pod and PVC and PV and secrets or anything, I will create like this with a one.yaml file, one pod.yaml file, one pv.yaml file, one pvc.yaml file, or one secret.yaml file. In this way, I'll create my YAML files. So what is the advantage of this? So I said earlier, like if you got any error, you can jump to the different question and troubleshoot the error questions in the last. So once you finish all the easy questions and you decided to solve all the flag questions, when you jump to the first question, which you got error, then you no need to recreate the YAML file again. In the jump servers, you will be creating multiple YAML files for all your 17 questions. So it will be hard for you to identify which is the exact YAML file you created for the first question. So using the question number as a name for the YAML file, that will easily identify that one.yaml file is my YAML file for the first question. Use a dry run client. This is used to generate the YAML file, and is very helpful in generating the YAML file using the while you are using the imperative commands. So if you are creating any resource, pod, secret, or deployment, anything new, you can use the YAML file. You can use the dry run client YAML to generate the YAML files. You will get some scenarios where you need to like delete the existing pod and recreate the pod with a different configuration. In that scenarios, you can use the direct client to generate a YAML file for the existing pod and delete the pod and modify the YAML file and recreate the new pod using the generated YAML file. While generating YAML file for the existing pod, keep in mind that the YAML file will have the additional code in the YAML file, because it is existing pod, so it will have more fields which are not required. You need to delete all those fields, and so that you have only pod configuration, container configuration, and name, metadata, and basic, what are the basic things, and rest of the things you can delete it and save the file and run the YAML file. While modifying the YAML file inside, you might they might in the questions they might ask you to create with specific name. So don't type that specific name and just copy that specific name from the question and paste it into your YAML file. This will avoid spelling mistakes and lot of errors. This will save some time as well. Verify your question and after finishing it, so just verify the solution one more time, so that you have make sure that you have solved it and it's correct. In the end, you can solve the bigger questions which you can think you can solve it, and just try to solve those questions. Even it is a half correct, you'll be still getting the half marks for that, so no need to worry about that. Yeah, the one method I had use it in the exam is, the very important one is copy paste YAML file from the Kubernetes documentation. So using this, I had solved a lot of my issues what I have faced in my first attempts. So that's the reason I had used the copy paste YAML. I will show you how to use that. So this is the Kubernetes documentation page. You can open this Kubernetes document page in your Jump server. You can open the Firefox browser and open this and keep it aside. In the terminal, you when you're trying to solve a question, first of all, copy the context and paste it into your execute it on your Jump server terminal, so that you will not be executing the commands in a different cluster. So this is the first thing. Whenever you decided to solve a question, just first copy the kubectl context and execute it on your Jump server. The first thing, and the second one is read the question, and in the question you need to create a pod. Then go to your Kubernetes documentation and type pod. The first one you can see, just click on it, scroll down. See here I can say YAML file. I'll just copy this. I'll go to my terminal and I will do vi edit, and I'll paste my code. After pasting my code, what I will do is I'll just modify the names as per my question. ABC1, or if they ask to change the image, you can change it. Just change all the fields as per the question and save it and execute the file. So this will help you a lot of time rather than creating the ML file from the scratch. Don't try to be a developer, and you are not a developer. We are not a developers. We are a system admins. So we don't write code. We try to execute the things as soon as possible. So just copy the code from the Kubernetes and paste it into your new YAML file and modify the code and run it. That's the simplest way. So just go to this thing. This trick will only help you when you had mastered the Kubernetes documentation. So now I got a question related to node selector. I'll search for the node selector. I'll go to the first one. Most of the thing. I'll look for the right side as well. I can see here node selector, something with node selector. See assign pods to a node selector. Scroll down. See I got a YAML file sample. I'll copy it. I'll open a VI editor and I'll paste it and I'll modify what are the fields. If disk is asked to be something else, I'll I'll modify it and I'll save it and I'll execute it. So this you need to practice while you are learning itself, while practicing in your labs and all. You can just go through each and every concept where you can find the sample file. Now I need to create a now in my question I have to create a persistent volume. I'll type persistent volume. Click on the link. Search for sample. Check at the right side. Persistent volume. See I have C. So you can see the kind is persistent volume. I'll copy this. That's it. I'll open the YAML file, new YAML file, and I'll modify as per the question. Now I got something about percent volume claim. I type persistent volume claim. The first link I'll go for the most of the time. Scroll down. You can see persistent volume claim somewhere. Yeah, here you can see persistent volume claim. See, I have the code here. I shall copy it and paste it into my new YAML file, and I will execute the file. So this is the easiest method for each and every topic. Just be aware that where you can find a sample code. Now I want to create a secret. I'll type secret, and you can see the uses of secret. Create a secret. See, okay, this is the pod. Sorry, this is not pod. You can always remember what you're searching. Kind. Look at the kind in the example. In the example, make sure you are creating what you are looking for. What exactly it is. This here it's a kind, not the secret. And scroll down if I have something here. I don't see here. Creating a secret. Use a config file. Yeah, here you can see this is the sample YAML file. You can see kind is secret. Make sure that the kind is secret. If I'm searching for a storage class or something, the kind has to be secret. If you're creating a pod, the kind has to be pod. If you are creating a config map, it has to be config map. But if I got a question on multi-container, I'll search for multi-container and go for it. Mostly you'll have in the first one or two lines itself. On the right side, look in the right side. Yeah, yeah, you can see identity containers and the sidecar containers. Yeah, here you can see there are multiple containers. Identity container. This is identity container, and this is the container. You can copy the code and paste it into your new YAML file and save it and execute it. So this copy paste trick will really help you in troubleshooting the issues and avoiding the mistakes, unnecessary mistakes, and it will save a lot of time, and you can easily pass the exam using this method. All you need to do is practice in the while learning itself, practice on the Kubernetes documentation, go to the documentation and look for your exact exam version, version 1.30, and look for every concept, and make sure you know where you can find a example for that. Thus, this trick will help you to pass the exam. I hope these tricks are helpful for you. I hope you'll clear the exam. Thank you everyone.